All right, get back to hating Seinfeld.
All right. So, and I'm going to try to remember this the best I can because this is just something I heard on a podcast.
Yep.
Probably right before I saw you guys.
Well, you know Jerry personally. You work with him.
That's
we're
right.
good buddies.
You opened for him.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he opened for you.
me.
That's
yeah.
right.
That's right.
Sad part is we actually know people who would use that as a fucking credit that Seinfeld opened for them.
Yeah, I would never do that.
No,
it's not like when I worked with Steve and Marty. That's totally different.
Oh my God.
I don't know who
Yeah,
that
Steve
is.
Martin and Marty
great.
Short.
Tell you.
Oh, okay.
He got called up on stage to wear a fucking sombrero, and he's saying that he's working with Steve Martin and
I actually
Martin Short.
sang the
that's right,
theme
you
song to Three Amigos.
Okay.
It's a great song.
But back to Brad. Brad.
So I'm
I know you've
going
been
to
trying to
remember
tell
this the
story.
best I can because in the moment I was really aggravated about it.
Yep.
I was listening to, I think it might have been Jim Norton's podcast or something.
Yep.
It was a random clip. It was Jim Norton, somebody else, and Mark Norman telling this. Mark Norman was telling. Did you hear this story?
No.
Of Mark Norman
I
working
haven't.
with Seinfeld.
No.
And made me so mad that I felt like Jim Norton let me down. I'm like, come on, Jim Norton, say some funny fucking shit. Rip into Seinfeld.
Was this his Chip Chipperson podcast?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was just
I'm just
I heard
curious.
this random clip. I don't know. I think I was just, how it like starts sending you stuff. I was watching some Norton shit, and it just randomly fired me.
I
this
love
clip.
Jim Norton, but Jim
too.
also, if it's a big star, he will not go after that.
I was disappointed.
He won't go after.
I was like, I bet if it was him and Patrice, they would have said more.
Patrice would have.
And Patrice
in
would
a
not have
second.
held back. Exactly.
So
right,
Norman's
so,
telling
go
this
ahead.
story, and I'm trying to remember something from a while back. Basically, he's opening for Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Norman is.
Right. And Norman's all excited about it.
Of course.
And thankful for it and all this. And Seinfeld wants him to do 15.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman says something like, is someone going to like me or something? And Seinfeld with his snarky remark was like, come on, be professional.
Yep.
In other words, memorize an exact 15 fucking minutes in your brain. And you know how he is, that meticulous fuck. He means exactly 15 minutes. Now, if listening to the story, if I thought what he meant was, hey, do around 15 and then bring me up. You know what I mean? But that motherfucker wants an exact 15. Yeah. So, obviously, he's not saying you don't expect Jerry to pop his head around the corner in the back and light him. Obviously, Seinfeld's got probably 17 servants that will do that for him. Fucking the guy who played Newman could pop around and fucking light him or something.
Hello, Jerry. It's time to get off stage.
So, anyways,
Wayne Knight is lighting people.
Yeah.
So
Hello, Mark. It's time to get off stage.
my frustration
That's
right
not bad.
right off the bat is
Yeah, it's not as gay as Norm.
it's just listening to the story. And again,
Yeah.
I'm doing this on memory.
Yeah, 'cause
you
you're-
could look it up.
But you already
The
had
more-
a chip on your shoulder against Seinfeld for what happened.
And just
So this
everybody.
just pissed
I just everybody. It
He
just
hates everyone.
It's insane to me. The egos, and obviously you go up the scale,
Of
you're going to
course.
get bigger egos.
Yeah.
Dude, just have one of your little fucking minions light the dude.
the
If
dude.
you want exact 15,
Well, let me
have someone.
Let me
one
play
of your
devil's
minions-
advocate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second, because guys that aren't even at Seinfeld's level, because I've opened up for Boston guys, and Ace knows. Ace has opened up for people. When they'll tell you, "I want a clean 15."
Right.
They expect you to go out and be able to do clean 15 without somebody lighting you.
Yeah.
They expect you to do
15 on the dot.
on the dot.
But that's the thing. When you get to
And
the
they'll
level,
tell you, buy a fucking watch
When you
if
get-
you can't keep 15
Yeah,
minutes.
but see, I don't
when
think he would
you-
like if he was looking at a watch. I don't even
But
like
I'm-
seeing a comic.
Well, listen,
look at his
what I'm
watch.
saying is
No,
when you
but-
get to the level of Seinfeld, or when you get to the level where you're opening for a national act like
you
that,
should know exactly what your time
You
is
should- yeah.
in your act. That's why when I used to work Boston and I used to
Now-
do Comedy Connection, Faneuil Hall, those guys used to tell me, build your act in 5-minute chunks. So you know exactly each chunk is 5
Right,
minutes.
so in this
So if a guy
story-
tells you do 10 minutes, you do 2 5-minute chunks, and you know it's exactly 10 minutes.
Right.
So
I
you
think
can
it's-
stop on a dime.
I think it's a little unreasonable. I know
I'm
you
just
guys
telling-
have done way
but
more than
that's
me.
because-
No, and
but
I'm not-
When I have opened for 2 acts, like I opened at the Odeum recently, which was
Yeah.
one of my positive stories. That was really cool. I didn't tell you that.
We don't want
were
that.
a positive
Yeah,
session.
we don't
we don't
hear
want
that.
that.
No, but
the guy, I didn't have the headliner.
Who'd you open up for?
Michael Palisak is his name.
Oh, all right.
I didn't say, hey, you light me.
Right.
Some
No,
guy
I
working
know.
there lit me.
I
And
know.
then when I did the one out in Vegas for cousin Louie there, he didn't even deal with that. The club.
Right. No, the
lit
club
me.
did.
But
I
I
understand.
But I get
where
him.
you're
It's a
coming
high level.
from.
But here's my
Right.
point, though. Why this even becomes a discussion
Yeah.
is Seinfeld has got this dude so rattled about this goddamn 15.
Yeah,
now
Somebody yelled out during his act.
Now
so
he's
now,
worried about
yes.
his
Do I
time.
think Mark Norman
Do
can
I
do an exact
engage?
15? Yes,
Yeah.
he can. Mark Norman is a great comic, way
Yeah.
fucking
Fantastic
better and more
comic.
successful than me.
Fantastic.
But now there's some crowd work interaction shit.
And now it throws you off
And
because you
he's
had
got the
planned on
fucking
so much time. Right.
Jewish Nazi back there being so specific, it rattled his fucking head. He ended up getting off the stories. Actually, it's kind of funny to listen to because he ends up getting off stage. I think before the 15, he
Yep.
gets in the back. And he's like, "Oh fuck, I only did 12 or something." He runs back out there, makes an ass out of himself.
Oh, my God.
But my point is, the whole reason all this fucking bullshit happened is because, dude, just have someone fucking like the guy.
Right.
And then you don't have to get in his head. He's already so excited and stressed
Yeah.
out to open for Seinfeld. Take the pressure off that so he can just focus on doing a good
Right.
set.
But you know what?
Do you
In
know what
all
I'm saying?
honesty, I get it.
I see
but
both
in
sides.
all honesty,
I do see both
here's
sides.
the thing. In all honesty, if you don't think that didn't happen to Jerry Seinfeld when he was opening for people,
All the more
it's
reason to be
kinda-
nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, you still be nice about it, but it's just how it is because he's probably trying to make. And I get it because if someone's yelling shit out, now that throws off your normal.
Yeah, he ended up,
15-minute set.
and that's what happened to him.
But did Seinfeld lay into him because he was?
you gotta listen to the whole
right.
story because I'm remembering this from months ago. I heard
Right.
it once on a podcast. I was
Yeah.
coming in to do your thing the next day, and in my head I'm like, "Fuck this guy!" You gotta be such a dick. Your focus, as a successful Seinfeld, you should want your opener. Here should be his focus.
Yeah.
Have a good fucking set.
But
That's
you're-
it.
But
Not
again,
counting seconds in your fucking
but
brain.
you're looking at it from the
our
opener
perspective.
and our perspective, not from the
Not
Jerry
from theirs.
Seinfeld. Right.
Yeah.
And I-
What would it hurt
they
Jerry to have
paid-
someone in the staff just like you do?
I'm not.
I get it. But
I'm not
they-
disagreeing, but
they
at the same
paid their
time,
dues.
right?
So, I'll give you an example. When I opened up for a couple of times, when I was working the Newport Yachting Center when they were open, I opened up for Gaffigan. I opened up for Louis Black. I opened up for Dom Irera.
Right.
And all of them, it was do 20 minutes. Now, no one ever bitched at me, but I never asked for a light. I just said, okay, I'm in the big leagues now. I'm opening for major fucking, headliners. They want 20 minutes, I'm doing 20 minutes. And I keep an eye on my thing. Now, could I possibly go 20 seconds over because I hadn't gotten my punchline? Yeah. But
I don't think anybody would have cared of that group
No.
about the extra 20
No,
seconds.
But you know what? I don't know.
Seinfeld might have.
I don't know if he would have.
He's
You're-
not the
you're
only one.
assuming, but I will tell you this, and we've talked about it on the podcast before. I've had two experiences with headliners who I was told do 20 minutes up front. I'm in the middle of my set, 20 minutes. Now, when someone tells you to do 20 minutes, you put it in your head. Here's what I'm going to do.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, you're 7 minutes in, and the person at the side of the stage, not the headliner, but the person running the show, is giving you the cut sign.
Don't I know from you pulling me off stage?
That was different. I was jumping up and down, lighting
You're
you.
like, get
cut.
the hell
Yeah.
off the stage.
That was different. But then I cut my set short, and I'm like, what? Did I do something wrong? They're like, no, they just wanted to get up on stage earlier. Okay. Second show that night, they said, okay, just do 10 minutes this time. I do 10 minutes, and they're off the side of the stage giving me the stretch sign.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, what the fuck? And both times I ended up having to do a half hour because they were back at the hotel fucking off,
late.
taking a nap or whatever.
I get all
And
that, though. Be
they'll-
able to go short or
those
long
are
is
people-
understandable.
Those
That's
are
different.
people that I consider assholes.
I first time I got to open up for what I considered a bigger person in Boston. I was supposed to do 20 minutes, and I went over by a minute and a half, 90 seconds, because I was doing really well, and I got some big laughs, which pushed.
So you went 90 seconds over.
And I'm into my last joke, which was a longer joke, and I knew I was going a little over, and I'm finishing up the last joke, so it pushed me long, and I finished with a big laugh.
Okay.
I finished
great.
well.
Which is what
Yeah.
should matter most.
Right.
And as I walk off stage and I'm heading to the back, I get in the back hallway. The guy that's the headliner looks at me and goes, "What, were you cutting a fucking album up there?"
For a minute and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go fuck him. Hey, I want to just interrupt real quick because Ace said,
But he's
Comics.
the guy that sold all the tickets that night.
Right.
yeah, I don't care. Fuck him. Remember Ace?
And that's why
Remember
Brad
a minute
will
ago?
never get
no,
off
I'll
the
never
comedy
make
bus.
it. No, I will never. I will work on a bus for tips the rest of my life, and I don't give a fuck. Listen, did you hear he just said he is more mad about the comedian that makes you go 3 times as long because they're in the hotel?
Yeah.
Ace is the one guy who I had to do 2 sets in the same show because Ace, the headliner, wasn't around. Didn't show up. I had to go back on
What?
stage and do another
Didn't
set.
show up.
Me,
Please
James,
tell.
I'll
No,
never
you
forget
have to
this.
stop talking.
I
He
wanna
I
needs
know
will
to tell
never
the
forget
story.
this because Ace is
Wait.
literally the only comic who's ever done this to me,
I
and he
wanna
just
know what
complained
show.
about somebody doing it to him.
I want to. Yeah, but I
At
didn't-
least they went like this. I
I-
got off stage,
Wait.
and they like had to go back on.
Did I tell you? But it wasn't. I didn't tell you to cut short the show before.
No.
I was
Oh,
probably
that's
running
not-
late
us-
for a reason.
Stop.
You made us
He
do
needs
extra.
to tell
I wanna
the
know what show.
story.
It was a funny for fun show.
I know
It was
exactly
either
which one.
Coventry, maybe.
Coventry, PNA.
Maybe it was
It was
me,
a dance
James Firth.
competition.
Oh yeah. Me,
Yes.
James Firth, and you. And if I remember correctly, I think Firth and I might have both did 2 sets
Yeah.
because Ace was so late.
No. Okay.
And I wasn't that experienced. This is like years ago.
No.
This is probably
It was
5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
exactly what show you're talking about. Here's the problem. When you get requested
Oh,
because
when you're a big shot.
it's been nice talking to you, Brad.
You know,
You'll
I've
never
been-
be on one of my funny for fun shows again.
I would never
It-
even remember this
no.
if you
It's
didn't
been
say
fun.
that about the
I
other
know.
guy.
I
It's
know
been
what it
fun
was.
having Brad on the podcast.
Yes.
Too bad this is his last
It was
appearance.
fun. Brad may be the new co-host. Anyway, no, I know exactly what happened. There have been times where you have people who reach out to you to do a funny for fun show, and they go, "But we want you on the show."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they go and book the venue without talking to you first, and it's like, I just had this happen a month ago.
Yeah. I know what
But
you're
they
talking
booked
about.
the venue, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Okay, it's April 22nd." I'm like, "I already
You're
have
already
a show
booked,
that
yeah.
night."
Right.
So to make both groups happy,
You're trying to double
I
up.
host one
Yep.
show and then run across town or 2 towns and close the other one. And if you remember, I actually called you guys.
Oh, yeah, I
and
remember.
you guys put me on the microphone.
Yep.
And I did some funny shit on the microphone
Was it
to
funny,
hold
Brad?
them over.
Was it funny?
I tried.
So,
I tried. Fuck
here's
you.
the thing. I think it's a great memory. It was a really fun
Folks,
night.
it's been fun. It's been a good 6 years, but I am done with this fucking podcast.
Honestly, it was a great night. My point is,
I love you,
that
buddy.
type of thing bothers me way less than, hey, you got to do this set
No,
by
I know.
exactly 15 minutes
But
to the
my point-
second,
my-
and have that in your head when you should be focusing on just being fucking
Brad,
funny.
But my
Do you know what I
point,
mean?
my point
I'd rather
wasn't
deal with that.
But Brad,
But-
that's just part of the business.
My
That's
point-
just
Shitty
part of the business.
And my point wasn't
Shitty.
the fact that they went, I had to go long the next show. It was that they pulled me off stage early the previous show because they wanted to get on stage early and then didn't have the decency to fucking show up on time for the second
next
show
one. Yeah.
when you're only staying at a hotel across the street.
Yeah.
You know?
Divas, yeah.
Now,
And I'll give you the names because I don't give a fuck. I'll never work for them again.
Well, after
And
the
I've
first
heard
segment,
people-
none of us are
that's right.
working again.
I've heard people say how great this person is, but you know what? Fuck Caroline Ray and fuck Jackie the Joke Man Martin.
Yeah,
they both did it to me.
But you've talked about them in the past.
I know.
You've talked
Is that
about
the
them.
and I
Stern
just wanted
guy,
to
Jackie?
yeah.
Now flip flop a positive story.
and I
Okay.
hope that goes viral.
John Panette. I opened up for him a couple of times. First time I opened up for him, Sweetheart of a Man went great. He came back to Providence. I got to open up for him again. I'm up there, supposed to do 20 minutes. It's just, he just does an opener and him.
Right.
That's it.
Well,
Two-person
that's
show.
cool, yeah. Because he probably does an hour.
Oh, easily,
Easily,
if
yeah.
not more.
Yeah, so there should only be 2 people.
So I'm up there, and I was so worried because of what had happened to me with the person saying, "What are you cutting a fucking album up there?" That I'm finishing my 20. They told me 20 minutes. I'm doing my 20. I'm coming up to my 20, and I cut off a joke so I could finish my 20. And I didn't even get to the punchline. I just kind of wrapped it up and walked off stage. And John says to me, he goes, "What was that last joke you did?"
And you were like, it was
and
half
I,
of my
I was
last
like,
joke.
yeah, I was running over and I didn't want to go over the 20. And he goes, no. If you're ever not done a joke when you're opening up for me, finish the joke. He goes,
he'd rather have
He
you
goes-
end on a good
he goes,
note.
"Get
Yeah.
the-
That's all I'm saying. That
goes,
guy is the cool guy. The other guy's
he goes,
a dick.
He goes, get the laugh. He goes, you were setting
what
up.
he should care about.
He goes, you were setting up for
I
a
know,
good
I
finish. He goes, get the finish. He goes, I'll be fine. He goes, these people paid to see me. He goes, I want them to get to see you. And he was such a sweetheart of a man.
Isn't that great when it's like that?
And, I couldn't ask for a better person to open up for ever. The other person, eventually I became friends with. I'm not going to mention who they were. And I kind of I do understand and I don't understand where he's coming from. Because he reacted to a situation that he didn't have the full information from at the time, because we actually started the show late and he wasn't there at the start of the show. So
he didn't realize.
He didn't
Dude,
understand
it's
why
not-
I
it's
was
90
long.
seconds.
Yeah.
But he
No.
didn't.
It's not 7 minutes.
But
it's
still.
90
Yeah,
seconds.
but
Still-
there's different people. I get it.
There's a lot of information involved and
Okay.
stuff like that. And some people can't
Brad disagrees.
handle it.
I like
know what
the
I say
second
to
guy's
them?
point better.
Honestly,
The
and
Panetta.
I, just like Ace, I've been lucky enough. Like when I was a few years in, I became, Ace was one of the first headliners I got to talk to that explained a lot of
And
stuff
I'm
to me.
fucking amazing. So
And I had the influence of a lot of headliners
Except for when I
that
show up
were
late.
really good at explaining stuff to me. So I was very lucky. So now that I'm 20-something years in and I get to headline, I try to be that way to newer people that are opening up when I get to close shows.
It's called
Yeah.
being a decent human being.
right, yeah, but
But-
not everyone is.